Let's plug in the phone. That's okay. Okay, so we're gonna. Can you hear me? Okay. What happened? Here we go. Now you can hear me. Okay. All right. So let's go over where we left off yesterday in the Inyan and Tzitzis. We're in the seventh drush. This is the final drush. I think it has a lot of nuance. So we go through these things kind of quickly. There's a lot of nuance always in these ideas, and I guess he's trying to put it together. I'm not sure. Now we're going to the Tikkun. What happens is he had these four different areas in which the Yud K Vav K is manifest. So let's go to this. Let's go to the first Hey he's talking about now. The Sakiness of Begam Shel Hey Rishon Shel Levaya. What do you do if you forgot to do the this is tefillin? I believe tefillin goes with the Hey Rishon. Oh, he said it. So he said, so he says, in order to make this work out. Now, I'm not sure exactly what he's saying to me. First of all, it's not something you miss up too many times, but this sounds a little bit like Shara Ruach HaKodesh, where they're coming and they're giving you a formula for how to repair the flow of, the words of what happened when you make a pagam in the Yud K Vav K, then it impairs the flow of light from up above to down below. So anyway, at any rate, so now we're talking about a tikkun for this. So God forbid it happened. But then on the other hand, if you were a Rebbe or someone like that who had many people coming to you, this may be actually well, we're just seeing a solution, but we're seeing it for the first time. As a bechelek of a rishon shel yichud, so at the beginning, when you start to do the yichud, techaber b'shtei osios rishon l'shel shem avaya, put those two letters together, shehem shtei osios yak, yud and k. That's a gematria 15. Shtei osios yak, hem meramazin la'aba ve'ima, because yud is abba, etc. Ba'ofen she'aba nirmaz, oh, he says it out. So she'aba nirmaz ba'os yud shel chavaya, ve'ima nirmazes ba'os he rishon shel chavaya. Okay, we know that. Shirotzonim, what do they want to do? Shel Abba Be'ima. What Abba Be'ima want to do? So he says, this is what they want to do. So up in this part, this is the first part of the idea, is to get the two together, because what the two, he said the language of the here is that this is what Abba Be'ima want. This is what they always want. Something like that. So that's the first part. She'olas the hay. So now what happens is the hay achranu shel shem avaya shehi malchus v'la'achar shehi oila. Then it goes up. He mischaveres in vav shel avaya shu hazah. So imagine this, that she's now making a yichud from the bottom up to the next level up, which is their anpin, and she's going to make a yichud shel avaya shu hazah. So he wants you, that is the Hey Rachrona with their anpin, who's 6 kitzvos, he's the vav. She'inyan the is Hey Achrona v'chibura im havav. So the idea is this: the going up of the Hey Achrona joined together with the vav, who remez al yischavros hazun biyachad. So this is the idea now that you brought zun into the equation. So what ultimately do they want by putting themselves together? The zivugim. That is, now you brought the hay to the vav. Kush al yedei kain yalaman. That's a really basic, really fundamental principle in all of Kabbalah. So the main thing that happens as a result of the Zohar B'not getting together is they produce man. So what man is what stimulates Abba Ve'ima, but Aliyah is a man, Shachazun Ma'ala, Abba Ve'ima, Shekuparnis Chavra, but already came together in order to get the ball rolling, so to speak. We already said that that's part of the Kavanah. Ad Kan Chelek Hasheni Shel HaYichud. So now you have the second part of the Yichud. Hu ha'chelek hashlishi shel yichud. So then he said, v'achar kach, then you come to the third part of the yichud. V'kaben she'oz, and this is the idea now. So he's saying there's three different parts of this so far. He says, Achashin is Davgo Abba Ve'iba, so now you have a yichud there. And they stimulated Abba Ve'ima going upwards. Then what happens? You're read as the matam is chaberes biyachidim oz vav shalavaya. So now you have a hay on the top and a hay on the bottom, and a vav in between them, and so now the hay on the bottom is in a yichud. And now the vav up above, the hay up above now comes down. The hay up above really has a yud inside of it. So I don't know. Let's go on. So he said, "Oh, the oz hey rishona." The Chavai, so just said the oz hey rishona. You read this in the Chaveris in oz vav. The Chavai goes down and joins together with the vav. Who remez alanai the ima. This is really a remez of the bottom part of ima. So he says, hey rishona. So we say, what is this? We're talking about that is the nai of ima going into zeranpin. So now that's really what he said. What he's saying. He said, so now what have you got? Why does she want to come in there anyway? She wants to come in because there are mochim within ima. So now you got all these three pieces. Okay, I thought that would be it. So no, it's not. And they're making the mochim over there. Now I have problem with this idea because I know that I'm having kavana every day when I'm putting on tefillin that I'm dropping I guess you would say the flow from Eric Onpin. I don't know if it's part of it's a bundle of hairs from Eric Onpin striking the back of my head, pushing through the head and pushing out the film. Okay, now he says something different here. Maybe it's all the same thing. I sort of really don't know. So he said, let me start again. So the nai coming into of bina coming into Zer Anpin is what promotes the pushing out of the tefillin. So because now there's mochen inside of its head, and it's exploding light over there. It breaks open the forehead of Zeranpin. So I still think that the other idea is also true, is that the what they call the bundles of hairs, they're coming down the bundle that strikes the back of the head is a whole big deal in other places. It's the same thing. This is part of the same process, just different sections of it. Nasis Bikiyas Mitzvahs Zeranpin, it also breaks up. Ubokim Mamocha V'Yotzim B'chutz the Metzvah Zeranpin. So now it's a big Chiddush. And so now he says that this is it. This is red. This is what caused the Ubokiyas and Mochin. It is Mochin themselves. The Mochin, the tzitzis represent Mochin. It is Yotzim B'chutz the Metzvah Zeranpin. V'Hayadei Zech Na'asim Tefilin B'Shemah. I'd like to be able to say something more about the word tefillin, but I don't have anything to say about it. I mean, why do they call it tefillin? This is my question, which is lush tefilah. So maybe a metaphor is that tefilah goes out of the mouth, and tefillin are, somehow it's a makif, but I don't really know. I haven't seen that. Just trying to think about why the name tefillin, which is lush tefilah, why should be over here. Anyway, it is. Come now. Ad kan chelik revi shal yichud. So now he said the so all of these different kavanas, if you can settle down enough to be able to actually think through these. The kavan ki hiber ha'osio shel shem havaya b'tzirav kazeh. So if you made a hiber yud k vav and then k vav again. Now the yud k would be the abba ve'ima. The k and the vav, the first one would be malchus and zeranpin, and the second one would be bina with zeranpin. The hainu, so he's gonna. I guess he's gonna say it as I go through that. The hainu yak shehem abba ve'ima, hey vav shehem zun, hey vav shehem ima v'zun. So it's shehem zun. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Hem olim yachdav, they all come together. Right about to get to the punchline here. Come on, baby, where did you go? There. Now, turn speaker on. Hello, I'm here. Baruch Hashem. Okay, we're about to get to the punchline here. He says, well, if you put them together, what do you get? Yud K, K Vav, and K Vav. Now we understand what's behind those letters, what they actually represent. A little bit we understand it. He says, Heim Olam Yachta Begematria Kemispar Hevel. Okay, well, we certainly have heard that word before. So here's a Hevel. Hevel is the milui of Sag. We'll go on. Behevel hu mispar v'cheshbon milui avay the Sag gazet. So he shows you. He says take the milui adkan. So he says adkan chedek hamishi shel yichud. So that's the fifth part. So now what do we get out of it? Then we got 37. V'atam shebeyichud shel tefilin ana mekuvana b'milui shel avay the Sag. That's the question. Shechuk mispar hevel. Whom mishum shevapart sufi matzilus. But this is the reason. Because in the Partsufim of Betzilus, Oz Abba Hu Shem Kavai the Milui Ab. Then you see that Abba is the Shem Kavai the Milui Ab. Yud Vav Dalake, as I probably give it to us. Uve'ima, he Avai the Milui Sag. Barazal Hu Avai the Milui Ma. Baranok, he Avai the Milui Ben. Became in She'ima, he Shem Havaya the Milui Sag. So since she's the Havaya Milui Sag, so now you have an aspect of Sag that is coming into Zeranpin. And it causes a tremendous wave of consciousness into Zeranpin, or light, called light. The Nivka Mitzcho, it causes his forehead to break open. And now this is the creation of tefillin in Zeranpin. So therefore, when you're making the yichud for the first tefillin, nirmez shem doing the milui sag, because he wants to say it's this aspect of sag that really causes that is the nayadima coming into Zeranpin, causes the burst open. Shuhu kumis berhevel. So it comes out that what we're talking about is that the milui is going to come out to be hevel. Now, how do we get to that? Nirmez shem the milui sag, shuhu kamis per hevel. Okay, just talking about the milui is that. So apparently, I'm thinking that he means to say that it's the milui that really lights up Zeranpin. So because the rest of it is, I guess, would be more ikr. Shebezech sheneknasim manai the ima berosh Zeranpin lasos lo mochim. This causes the tefillin to come out from its head. So the way that this works is like this. So the next one is Kevav, hu hiber zun alozman. That's the idea of them getting together. A really important step for all those who want to pray is to understand that alozman abba ve'ima, you got to put that together. Now, why does he say Abba Ve'ima first? That bothers me a little bit. So it means to say that they are sending juice down. In other words, I'm always thinking that you're coming from the bottom to the top, and when you're talking Mayim Nukvin is the start of the whole thing. But he doesn't say it like that. He says the start of it is a yichud between Abba Ve'ima. So that's the start of it. So he said, then he comes to the fact that because of the yichud is up there, and they're constantly, maybe they're sending out smoke signals or waves, and they're constantly getting the two down below to get together. So he said, so that's really what they want, because that's what they want. They want their children, want to reproduce, they want their children to be healthy and good. So he has a hey vav hu knesses anai the ima barosh zer anpin. So here we now hear that's the path of the says the mochi mekor zecha biyotz tefillin. From this is the way that the tefillin come out. So now these letters Yud K, and then the K Vav that's the middle part, which go from the bottom to the top, and then you have the Hey Vav, where the upper Hey is going down to the Vav. He says, Hey Olam Yachta b'Mizbar Lamed Zayin. Lamed Zayin is that power, apparently, the power to be able to bring the Lamed Zera b'Hu b'Gematria Hevel. Shuhu Milu Shem b'Vayid the Sag Gazet. So he shows us that side. So the Sakin Mashapaga and Ba'oz Vav. So in order to make a tikkun, and what was the Oz Vav, Shel Shem B'Vayid, so this is what happens when a person is mevatel the tzitzis. He says that the yachev v'titzarav v'tishalev v'techaber osir shem mevayah ba'ofen zeh. So let me see this a little bit more here. We got another pei zayin. I guess I went past that. Okay, so let's see how much more time we have. 4 minutes more. You want to look at a little bit of Sifra D'tzniuta, and we'll come back to this. There's a lot to digest in that little piece right there. We're gonna look at the Sifra for like 4 or 5 minutes just to get a little taste, a little flavor over here. But it does take me once. Okay, so I'll just put them together, and we'll just have one shear here. That's how we do this. So what happened is that we've gone through various different these magic words. Now I'm thinking we've never seen these things before. These are the thinkings of the thoughts of or the approaches from their traditions and how they have learned to interpret these words of Rebbe Shimon. And I think all of them are worthwhile, really. If nothing else, just to I don't know. I just don't know. But at any rate, Zion Biorim his pasha the kan because it says that the snake spreads out. So we have 7 different Biorim on this, and they get really different. V'ata navi Biorim dosafi be'inin mispashet mikan the kan, and this is the first one. Bir Yakar, he says like that. The Nachat the Klipa. So we're talking about the Nachat the Klipa. Nimshak and Mishtalshach besod kain behevel. Now it extends down and it Mishtalshach besod into the secret of kain and hevel. Shehem small the yomim, which represent left and right. Kain is left, hevel is right. We just had this word hevel. Amar Khan. So and this is what it says over here. Mispasha the kan, that it spreads from one side to the next. Sha'anachas mispashet the tzad small, that the nachash goes to the left side besod kain, shuhu klipa hakosher, which is the hard klipa. But the tzad yamim besod hevel, shuhu klipa she'ena kosher. It's a klipa that's not so hard, but it's a klipa. So Badillah, he says like this. ARI, right? We had that word, the mispashet the kan. Oh hakol kol haklipos. Binyan echad. Oh, so he said, or another way to look at it like this. That says is that all the klipos are really one idea. Sheyesh klipa, huh? Ein hakol. Wait a minute. So what happened? Mispashet the kan. Ein hakol binyan echad. Thank you very much. There, everything is all the klipos are not just one little type of klipa. That really makes a lot of difference in pshat. Sheyesh klipa kosher v'she'ena kosher. They have those two opposite poles. Behind the kain the hevel. That's what kain the hevel means. Pirshirash behind the omdach of the kan. Shehevel miskarav misbasem yoser. So the hevel is actually, what does he say? Miskarav, he's closer. Misbasem, and is sweeter smelling. Yoser k'difrash the ale. So he wants to say the klipa kosher is really far away. Klipa kala is, what does he say? It smells better. Okay, that's it. Thanks for learning with me today.